What's up, guys? My name is Ryan Hogue, and I'm excited to be sitting down today with Passive Income Tom. And me and him both started off on YouTube around the same time. We've been supporting each other's channels throughout. We obviously have similar interests. You can tell because we both have passive income in our channel names. What is up, Tom?
Oh, not much, Ryan. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. The markets are crazy today. I'm not going to lie. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. unplanned. Checked my phone, checked the markets, and was like a little freaked out. But we'll talk some more about some market strategy today.
Yeah, it has been a crazy day already.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about your YouTube channel? And while you talk, I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube.
Okay. I started the channel, like Ryan said, just about a little bit over a year ago. Basically, I've been investing for over 20 years, and then I just wanted to, I share different financial tips and advice on Facebook, but then you don't really get as much feedback from some people.
Right.
So I try to go to YouTube, and then I got, then you can really find your community, and really people are really interested in it. So it's been going pretty well. It's a learning process. I'm not a techie guy, so
right. Yeah, man, your content's great. It should definitely be more popular. You know what I mean? Just straight up, it should be getting more views and whatnot. So
yeah.
Also, I noticed, by the way, earlier randomly when I was making the thumbnail for this video that you are crushing me on Pinterest. What is your secret to that? Like you have 57,000 average views a month, and I have like 4,000.
I've been sharing, like, I've had that Pinterest account for a couple of years, and I kind of share. I'm also a BMW fan, so I share a lot of BMW pics, and I guess that draws a lot of interest as well from some other BMW fans. So
nice. What do you drive?
I have a 530i.
Nice. I'm not like a huge car guy, so I'm gonna have to Google that real quick.
It's like a little sedan. So
okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, no, it's a 535i because the previous one was a 530, and I switched it up to a 535 about 2 years ago.
Nice. My dream car when I was growing up, really, as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it, was a Z4.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
I've been driving a Z4 like M Sport. It's really nice. Nice on days like today where the sun came out and could put the windows down.
That's good.
Yeah, man. So I noticed you just released a video 1 day ago, tips for the 2020 market crash. And this might be a great chance to kind of introduce people to some of the concept you talked about in that video. And I guess also might as well at a high level, just say, so Tom, your channel for the most part is mainly talking about putting your money to work for you, right? Using money to make money as far as investing goes.
Yes, a lot of people, everybody knows Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and I think that started the trend for everybody to go that passive income route. And then I think it did for me. I really got into it really big, because I was always a big stock investor, and then I added real estate to supplement that, because even after like what happened today, you need something to balance it out, because if you have all your money in stocks, you're really gonna be crushed right now as of today.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think like every reasonable investor will say that you need to have your money in different buckets so that you're protected against like massive up and down swings, basically. I mean, I'm interested in learning more about real estate investing. Is there anything what do you use for real estate investing? Is it literally going out and buying properties, or are there like apps like Robinhood for real estate? I'm not really well versed in that.
No, I own a couple of properties, and then they're all rented out. I have property managers oversee them, because none of them are actually where I live.
Okay.
In other places I was in the military, because I was in the Army for 20 years, and then through the different places I picked up, and they're all managed by a property manager, and it keeps me up to date. Deals with the toilets, the tenants, and the trash. So.
Yeah, man, that's I've heard about that from other YouTubers as well. There was a bodybuilder I really like to follow, and he was massive steroid monster, but he was smart when it came to finances. He was always very practical, and he said, like, basically what you just said, like, you don't even have to live near some of your investment properties. Just hire a property manager and collect that recurring income, and also hopefully the land value will go up, which I think it tends to, assuming you do your research.
Yeah, it definitely will. So he's got to be patient. It's not going to be like a where my properties are at. They're not like a high. It's not like LA or California where the prices are astronomical,
Mm-hmm.
but they're in, you know, relatively good communities, and they'll hold the value over time. So
Yeah, so it's a good store of wealth, let's say. The
yeah.
concept of buying power, another important one, right? With all these crazy swings on a daily basis. If you put your money in real estate and the value holds steady, and in the meantime, like let's say the US dollar like goes down in value, well, you've preserved a little bit of buying power by holding some real estate, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. So do you want to give us a few of the tips from your 2020 market crash video?
A lot of it was based off of, you know, because I've been through all the other crashes. The Asian market crash in like '97, the dot-com bubble. I think there's another one a couple years after that, and then you have the big one, the 2008 crash. A lot of that is you've got to be patient. You really can't time the market. On average, you know, I think the market corrects every 8 years, give or take, and we were long overdue. You know, it's already 2020. The last one was in 2007, 2008, and so we're long overdue. So I was expecting this, and really, when times like this, when you have the market that high, stocks hit new records, you really got to have money on the side, because you know when it's just like now, you can have money to buy, because when you don't have money to buy, you'll be sitting there saying, "I wish I had money to buy." You know, a couple other YouTubers were saying the same thing. They said they wish they had money to buy right now, but they couldn't because all their money was all in their investments. So,
well, that's, dude, you know, and I don't know how long would you estimate you've been like following the stock market regularly? How many years or decades?
I started investing in 1997 in stocks or mutual fund, and then got into stocks after that. So
Awesome,
it's been
man. It's
been a while, yeah.
For me, it was since 2012. So actually, the portfolio I look at. So what I have, I'm sharing my screen right now. This is just my watch list. This is not my actual positions. And I subscribe to the belief, and I think Warren Buffett might have actually said something about this, if I'm not mistaken, but it was something along the lines of, you don't need to have an opinion about every stock that's publicly traded. You literally just need to be like knowledgeable about a handful to make some money, you know? And so I've always had this watch list, and I've added and removed things from it, but I've watched this like a hawk every day that the market's been open, minus when I'm on like vacation or something, since 2012. So I am very comfortable with like ranges and whatnot with these positions. And then some of them are just broad, like market indicators, like SPY and VIX and whatnot.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
that's my personal take. And I will say, coming back to your point about having cash on the sidelines, like I have a funny story that some of my people, that my regular watchers and regular viewers of my content will know. And I know I saw you comment on the video where I talked about leaving my job, but I left my job right around basically like right before the crash began. And so my 401k that I transitioned from that to my IRA it like completely missed the drop so far. So it's like, it's worth as much money as it was worth prior, but like in just simply not being invested, I've not lost money. You know what I mean? It's a weird kind of way to think about it, but
that's good. Yeah, it's really good.
Really lucky there, man. So lucked out. But who knows? I mean, by the time it gets to my IRA, it may get deposited and go right back. I mean, you know, we'll see. Go back down.
Yeah.
But still better position than it would have been in. So, and I wanted to also circle back to a video I did on I did Monday last week, I think, or maybe it was Sunday night, but I talked about the TVIX, which is like the double velocity of the VIX. Like it's like a absurd, you know, I don't even really understand what to call it. Like if it's like some index or I don't know. It's obvious. It's like based on volatility. And if the VIX is down $1, TVIX wants to be down $2 essentially. And I had showed how like while the markets were crashing and the sky was falling, that if you were, you know, kind of happy with taking some cash out of the market because things were just smashing record highs for years and years and years on end seemingly. And it was like, it just seemed like people that were new to investing in any time since basically Trump got elected probably thought that investing in stocks is great because things are just always going up basically. And, you know, I had gotten comfortable with a lot of my positions and just pulling money out and just enjoying the returns, even if I didn't get out at the top, and had been, you know, watching the TVIX, which I know this is really a gamble. It's not an investment strategy. So you can tell me I'm stupid for doing this, but I had been like buying on Fridays and selling on Mondays. And it was just kind of crazy to see this kind of return in such a short span. But if you were able to get in ahead of the, like, you know, basically it was the February 24th jump, or you could say maybe even February 20th, you could have gotten in around like $40 a share. Okay. And gotten out, you know, at the time I made this video, gotten out at like $104 a share, or even at the top that day, it was at $124 a share. It made something like a 3.2x return in like,
that's good. That's pretty good.
Like a week or something. I think that was a week. It's absurd. Huh. And here's the thing that's even crazier, man. It's like, and I'm not trying to, by the way, disclaimer, like the same thing I said on that video, this is not like a real investment approach or anything. This is like gambling at the max. Mm-hmm. The upside is matched by the downside. But it's like, if we follow up that video that I dropped, if you got in at like, if you bought in at $104 when I dropped that video, you know, today it's up to 260.
Oh, wow.
So it's just absolutely absurd. It's like what, almost like a 7.5, I think it's 7.5x if you got in at that early $40 share level and held, which by the way, holding TVIX historically not a good investment strategy, but because if you go to 5 years, you just see it's just crashed and burned.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just interesting because it's like the sky's falling, everything's bad, but you know, the volatility plays are obviously profitable right now. So what are you thinking? Are you buying more stocks right now, or are you waiting a little bit? What's your mindset about kind of how things are?
I'm actually waiting because, I mean, everybody was really big. Everything started crashing when the coronavirus started popping up, you know, like a week or two ago, and then now it's the oil, and I don't think we've seen the bottom of this yet, because I think if the coronavirus keeps, you know, hitting the U.S. harder, I think more people are going to panic, and then I think it's going to push the market even down lower than what it is now. Dude, so I'm really just watching and just waiting.
I wholeheartedly agree, and I actually want to kind of talk about an idea that I was having last night, and it made more sense last night prior to the market kind of doing what it did today. Because it involved, like, you know, I'll just call it what it is, gambling, kind of buying puts on the SPY, and
yeah,
I had a specific time frame in mind too. That I mean, it's all kind of like logically justifiable in my mind, at least. Like I was telling my roommate and my friends about it, and nobody's called me crazy yet, but they might actually be behind the scenes thinking I'm crazy. But I wanted to kind of share, like, this is the channel that I think most people that are not watching the mainstream news are getting their info from, as far as the cerveza sickness, as I like to call it. And, you know, these guys have like exploded in popularity since the virus has been a big talk. And then there's another guy named like Dr. John something, and his channel's got like it's like 300,000+ subscribers, and he does like a couple videos a day. But they're both like virologists or epidemiologists, and very practical, very data driven in their approach. You know, they're not worried about the effect of what they say on the stock market. They'll just keep it real with people. And through following this channel, man, like, you know, the news that they share tends to be like 2 to 3 weeks, even sometimes a month ahead of like what you hear on the mainstream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Interesting.
they'll go today. They'll start citing the old videos. Like they'll say on this date, and the video is still there, so you know it's true. You can go find it. Like, and so it's like if all the warnings and red flags were there, and in my mind, I'm just like, man, if I had just bought some puts on the SPY, the SPY, which is really just an indicator of market go up, market go down. You know, like market goes up, SPY goes up, and I mean, dude, like. You want to talk about like ways of making millions of dollars with low downside? Like if people were investing in shorting the SPY back when this guy was talking about, where'd it go? I don't know. I lost that screen, but back when he was talking about kind of like the effect that this was going to have on the global markets, you know, it's like the indicators were all there, and it was early enough. Like, it's like if you buy the TVIX, you have to time it right, you know, because you could put your money in and lose it if it doesn't, if the broad market doesn't react in time. By the way, I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, I'm a web developer, so what do I know? But if you buy like puts, which is for those that I guess don't know what I'm talking about, it's like you can say, well, I think a put is basically shorting. It's betting against something. So if the SPY is an indicator of like the health of the market, like market goes up, SPY goes up. If you buy a put against the SPY, because you can't do it against the VIX or the TVIX, but you can do it here. You can also set a date range, basically. So if you don't know when to get in and out of the VIX, you can say, well, the coronavirus is going to be bad. I know because I've been watching, I lost the other guy's channel, but wherever it went, I think it's right here. Because I've been watching these videos, then there was just so much money to be made. I mean, they were so cheap. It was absurd, you know, because markets were just smashing record highs constantly. Who wanted to be the guy shorting it?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are people that made boatloads, like 7 figures were feasible, you know, depending on how much you're willing to gamble. So, but my thought process, I'm talking a lot, by the way. Do you want to chime in and tell me I'm crazy or anything?
No, it's really interesting that the I haven't checked out that channel, but it seemed like they were ahead, like you said, they're ahead of what the news was ahead. And
oh, dude, they were like massively ahead. Like,
I started following
it because I teach at my currently my only real job, my only steady income is teaching at a local university, George Mason University in Northern Virginia. And there was a scare. They had a student from Wuhan come here, like back when there wasn't really any mainstream talk about the virus. But as a result of that, I had to really start taking it seriously, just as a professor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like putting a plan in place if we needed to do remote teaching and all that stuff. And so that began my daily regimen of like finding out more and more about it. Plus I like the macro economic approach to investing more than I think I like the micro, because I'm definitely not as good at the micro. So, but maybe we'll talk more about that in a little bit, because I do like all the recommendations you give about like investing in dividend stocks and whatnot, you know. But so maybe we circle back around to that in a second. But just to wrap up my thought about what I'm thinking about doing in the near future, probably not in a day where the market's down as much as it is today, but there is this person on Twitter. I'm not sure exactly what their credentials are. I didn't do that much deep diving, but she was on the all right, so she's a PhD, and I don't know what ChemBE is, but she was featured in one of the videos from that Peak Prosperity channel. And she did like a 17 tweet. No, she did like a 30 tweet plus thread projecting using real data, projecting when, if things can, this isn't even like, oh, worst case scenario. This is like using the data we have in a slightly positive case scenario. So it's not even being alarmist. This is just saying like, this is all reasonable, what she says. I mean, I want to read it all in the live stream because it's obviously a lot of content, but essentially it's like, if we don't freak out because the death rate's not that high, whatever, the hospitalizations that will occur due to how viral this disease is will overwhelm hospitals by mid-May in the United States, based on everything that's true right now about like healthcare supplies, hospital beds per 1,000 people, et cetera, et cetera. So what I'm thinking, this is the tweet that basically sums it up, but there's obviously a lot more to it, and she outlines it all in the thread. But let's just say mid-May, right? So let's say the market's going to react. Well, okay, how do you curb this, first of all? We've already seen it in Italy, and we've seen it in China and other places. What do? You do mass quarantines.
Yeah.
So that the human-to-human spread slows down, so that the hospitals have time to catch up. Well, what's going to happen when we start mass quarantining in the United States? Stock market go up or stock market go down? It's going down, right? So rather than try to time an entry point into the VIX, let's say, in theory, why not just buy SPY puts for July? Or, you know what I mean? Like if it's mid-May where we start getting like the really kind of scary stuff of like mass quarantines, which doesn't have to be scary, I guess, but whatever, it is what it is. Like all I wanted to really illustrate there was that there's logic to back this, Yeah. Then why not buy SPY puts today, or maybe not today, but like if the market goes up one day and they start getting a little cheaper, targeting that July timeframe. And I mean, what price point you want to kind of target when you buy them is up to you. I was looking at like the 2008 crash to get my sort of like personal opinion on like what range I thought was worth targeting. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm just thinking out loud. I might be crazy. If you guys tuned into this, Rules for Rebels, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm so bad about like interacting with the chat. Mario, what's up? Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm the worst at live streaming. This is only my 6th one ever. That's always my excuse. One day I'm going to get better at it. Rules for Rebels, what's up? He says he's seen people blowing out their accounts, goofing up timing. Not that it matters, but perception is more important than reality. Do you think, Tom, you want to answer that? I got the comment up on the screen. Perception is more important than reality. Do you think coronavirus is even that big of a deal, or is the market just overreacting?
Well, I think today is more than just the coronavirus. It's more about the oil. It's happening, Saudi Arabia's, changing their rules and everything. And I think that's really what caused the big drop today. And I think just there's like a domino effect of hitting all the other stocks at the same time.
Multiple bubbles bursting.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, like, I don't want to just do a plug for like a million financial YouTube channels, but like there's some really good ones, including the one that I was promoting on my earlier video from last week. But I really love this guy. I mean, first and foremost, Passive Income Tom. I put a link right at the top of the description of this video. Show him some love. Like, he's doing great work over there. But I also really enjoy this guy, George Gammon. And by the way, you said you weren't as tech savvy, Tom. This guy, he hired an editor, right? So, and he does daily videos. So his channel, literally, I've seen it go from like, I think under 10,000 subscribers to 70,000 in like the same time span that me and you have been doing our thing. So he's doing the YouTube thing really well.
That's good.
But I really enjoy his content because he talks more about like macroeconomic effect on markets and whatnot. And yeah. But there's other channels too. But yeah, so I may gamble a little bit on the SPY. It's like the longer I wait though, it keeps going further down, and I'm like, crap, I should have just done this like earlier this morning or something. But yeah.
I mean, tomorrow everything could go back up again. So I mean, it's hard to tell.
I'm not gonna be the guy that buys in at the bottom.
Yeah.
There will be a day or two where there'll be some green for sure. Mm-hmm. But what are you thinking as far as like dividend stocks, right? Because the entry points to get into some of those stocks are getting lower. And I'm not 100% sure how dividends work. I know like certain types of companies. I think they're called MREITs. Is that the one that like they pay out a percentage of share price? Is that the right one?
That I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think like MREITs, they pay out a dividend as a function of their share price, but I think other companies like they were talking about like Exxon on TV today about, I think those dividends are static, right? So if the stock price goes down, dividends are static. You're getting paid more money basically as a function of the share price to own shares. And I know, you know, dividend stock should be a part of our portfolios. So what are you thinking? Like, are you going to load up on any specific? Are you eyeballing any specific companies?
Well, initially before the whole oil issue came up, I was buying Sun and BP, more oil related stocks, and then I mean now they've gone down even a lot lower.
They got crushed today.
Yeah, I actually haven't even checked. I've been running around all morning, so
I've heard like 30%, 30%, some of them.
Yeah, and then I follow these people on other YouTube channels talking about buying the airline industry, and I think that's a bad move as well. The airline industry, the cruise industry, because they're really getting hit by the coronavirus. So,
dude, who is saying that? Like, man,
yeah,
look at that decline. I mean, it's like you got to ask yourself, I guess, like, what's your threshold for? I guess like waiting. Like, are you willing to wait like 2 years for this to, or let's just say, I heard somebody on TV say, Yahoo Finance, by the way, has a TV channel. Interesting. I didn't know that, but I actually like it because it's a little bit less like mainstream. And I'm not like that big of a fan of a lot of the mainstream narratives, but Yahoo Finance, I like their work.
Yeah,
but
they're pretty good.
They're talking about how, like, let's just say 6 months from now, people are going to be looking to 2021. So that might be potentially the time where it starts to shift back, and the airlines will be priced very, very attractively. So, but right now, I don't know. Like, what price would you have to see American Airlines shares at to want to buy in?
With American Airlines is actually interesting because I actually bought them for my son's account almost 8 or 10 years ago when they were about to go bankrupt. You know, I think I bought 82 cents a share for that stock. So,
oh, nice, man.
I mean, I wish I would have bought some for myself, but all that's in my son's account actually. But I mean, seeing it even at 14.61, I mean, it's just hard to.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it could be overreaction. I mean, like, I'm speaking for myself here. Like, I am not trained to evaluate like the financials of a company, but I also obviously, like, I think a lot of people know that the stock market's not always dictated by logic. A lot of it is greed. Something that may be obvious, like stock market go up and the next day it goes down for whatever reason. Like, nothing's guaranteed ever.
Yeah.
But like, it's tough to make a case, in my mind at least, given like what I just shared with that Twitter thread, you know. And again, and all those assertions are based on like data that we know about the US's capacity to handle such a dramatic what's up, Chris? Such a dramatic increase in like needs, or I don't know, what do they call it, like new cases or people coming for care.
Yeah.
All at once, which is going to lead to if it does, I mean, if it did, quarantines, market go down, people aren't showing up to work, it's basically going to be the airlines effect across the board, you know. Like, what won't be affected? I guess just internet based companies that can telework, but
yeah, I actually saw Zoom. You know, Zoom's their account's doing really well.
I bet. that one makes sense. Yeah, there it is, 10%. Everybody's expecting people to be on screen shares. I didn't know they were publicly traded. How long have they been? Probably not that long. Oh,
I think that might be the wrong Zoom one. I think it might be try ZM.
Dude, well, these guys are benefiting probably from that. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
This is max. Let's see over the last month. is that month to date? No, that's 1 month. So yeah, they're up like something like 18%, if I had to guess. Does it show us?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, they're up a healthy, from $89 a share to 111 today. But that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'd be a little bit hesitant. I don't know. Just again, that macroeconomic, like, I still remember days, like, part of me sharing that I had been watching the market on a daily basis since 2012 is that, like, I still remember what it's like for the market not to always be green.
Yeah.
Like, I remember times where like macro events would like cause the market to go red, but not as drastic as today, obviously, but like,
yeah, that's so true.
And I think new investors, like, the everybody says the millennials all hop on Robinhood on that app, and anybody that's been doing it for like 4 years, let's say, even like 5, for the most part, all they know is up, up, up. And most people don't know how to short either. So it's like, I think that reduces the likelihood of markets going down, at least at a average investor level. But obviously all the economic institutions that have the real money can figure that part out. But
yeah,
I don't know. Trying to piece this puzzle together is interesting. You got any new videos planned on your channel coming up?
I'm actually gonna do one on Tesla for tomorrow, and then Friday will be my normal passive income video.
What are you gonna talk about with Tesla?
I actually sold some shares of Tesla today.
Okay.
So I came out ahead, but I still kept 1 or 2 shares in the account. I got to check, but I still came out ahead. But I just have a feeling it's probably going to go a lot lower, and then I'll probably just buy it again. And it may still be a couple months from now when I buy it again.
I mean, I can't not agree. I don't understand like how the broad market reacts to data and what they're reacting to when I see like down 12% on a month. And no, that's today. They're down 12% today. Sorry. But like, dude, the supply chain disruption that all these companies are going to experience is absurd.
Yeah.
Like, I think again, that channel that was talking about the virus, he also talks like, he sprinkles in a little like macroeconomic stuff, because I mean, obviously, like, it's a trickle down effect of the virus, right? So that's where he starts. That's what he specializes in, but he understands like what it leads to. And he was saying like that China made up for like, I think 28% of like, and I might misquote him, so I apologize. I don't think this is a misquote though. I think it was 28% of world manufacturing. So quite a bit. And things like other things like our health supplies that the healthcare workers need, but also like I think he said 97% of pharmaceuticals get imported from China to the US.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think he mentioned, and I hope I'm not misspeaking here. I don't think I am, but I think he said that like, we can't really just shift production over to India because a lot of the precursors that are needed to produce the pharmaceuticals that they use are from China. So it's like same problem. You're just 1 degree removed. And again, like, by the way, I saw on like Amazon FBA. So I have been in touch with my suppliers, and some of them are back at work. I have not gotten any shipments out of China yet, though. So I can't speak firsthand from my personal experience, confirming that like production is, I mean, obviously there's delays and they're transparent about that. Or, I mean, are they transparent until the runs are finished and my product is produced? Are the timelines they gave even accurate? I placed one order about a month ago. So it's not done yet. And that's the earliest order I placed. That was the first one.
Oh, wow.
But obviously, it's not like, oh, China's all one place. It's different places, different locations of manufacturers. I placed another order this past week, and they're actually awesome people. Like, they reached out today and they said, like, hey, we want to send all, our customers, our valued customers, free of charge, like, masks, because they know that it's not just a China problem. So
that's good.
But
yeah, I did see the prices on some of these things on Amazon were crazy, for the hand sanitizers and stuff, just ridiculous prices going out right now.
Yeah, man. It was all on my radar in early January. The thing is, I've only really ever worked with China-based companies. So in my mind, like, I looked up other suppliers from other parts of the world and didn't order. But here's the thing, even if I had ordered the supplies, like, I was thinking more like low-hanging fruit, like masks, gloves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no chance I would have gotten them out. All these countries knew ahead of time to, like, preserve them.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have gotten it out in time. They would have said, halt, keep those for us. And I probably would have had a couple $1,000s if I had to guess, because typically it takes like a month to get those production runs done, or let's just say like 3 weeks on average. So there was money to be made, but I feel like a lot of it, the easy money probably could have just been, and the safe money could have just been on spy puts when things were at all-time highs in the, like, literally, like, there was a point in time where, like, my friends in real life were laughing about the virus, and I was like, you guys know, like, 10% of the world's population's in quarantine right now, right? Nobody, they didn't know. And I was like, this is, like, not a joke. Like, that's what I just said. It's true. You don't see it on TV. And then as soon as they mention that stuff on TV, what happens to the market? Predictably, market go down. So I think it gets worse before it gets better. I think there's some money to be made. We shared a couple ways to do that on this stream, but you got anything else to plug while we're here?
I know you mentioned before in other messages along we've had about crypto, because that's another one that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. What's your thoughts right now? I know that it was a rough 24 hours. I was just talking to my roommate actually about that right before we hopped on this.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was part of everything going on with the oil and everything, but I read another article saying somebody, some scam company, they put some money in the Bitcoin or something, and I think they took it out, or I don't remember the whole article, but I think that's what caused the real big drop, over the last day or two.
Yeah, I mean, the what makes it so attractive is also making it subject to these fluctuations. Like today, for instance, the what's up, JJ Jazz? Can we ask Tom what suggestions he has if we have a few thousands to invest? All right, let's circle back to that. I'm just going to complete my thought in a second, but I need to practice live streaming clearly. Yeah, they paused trading on the stock market today because things went down over 7%, and that's just like part of what they do. And there was a 15-minute timeout for people to for calm heads to prevail. But on cryptocurrency, there's no regulations, so things can go up as fast as they go down. We obviously remember 2018, I believe, when we had the massive crash from 2017, sorry, from that 20,000 per Bitcoin high down to as low as 7,000 only 2 months later, or really a month and a couple weeks later.
Yeah, Bitcoin moves pretty fast, so
yeah, it's the nature of the game. And anybody that's holding a lot, if they want to sell a lot all at once, and maybe it's not like they're even short Bitcoin. Maybe they just they see a more attractive investment, so they pull their money out, they put it somewhere else. And if they had a lot of Bitcoin, because by the way, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but an absolute ton of Bitcoin in the circulating supply is stagnant. It's the hodlers, HODL, the hodlers. Whoops, I did not mean to click that. But yeah, let's jump back over here. JJ Jazz asked, what would you do if you have a few thousand to invest, Tom?
Um, well, personally, what I'm looking at is more the oil stocks, but then even now I'm kind of worried about even putting money into oil stocks because everything going on over there. So I mean, a few weeks ago it would have been fine, but now it's a different game. Um,
I hear you.
I,
I heard that Goldman had like a Goldman. I heard this morning that Goldman Sachs had said oil can go down to as low as $20 a barrel.
wow.
So if that happens, that might be the entry point.
The other one I would look at is REITs, however you call it, however you say it. Because those are always going to do well, and I think there's no really big, not like 2008 when that was a big issue, but I think now everyone's looking for a place, put their money in, or for housing, or for companies, for their commercial facilities, and those are all still doing very well, and they pay pretty well dividend wise.
Mm-hmm.
I know a popular one people like is NRZ.
So what is this? Residential investment? Because this is a real estate?
Yeah.
Well, it might be a good entry point because today it is getting caught up in the same thing that hit everybody else.
Because I'm looking at even like over about last summer is about the same price it was last summer.
Yeah, this might be one of those MREITs that pays out like the really high dividends. Because I mean, this is like they literally paid you $2 in the last year to hold a share.
Yeah,
that's you can take that to the bank all day. It's $2 of cash invested in your account. So, but if it is MREIT, then the dividend might get adjusted, I think, to reflect the trading price. Someone from Twitch, Banchan, said, my husband said that oil prices are going down quickly because no one's buying gas. Makes sense to me. I mean, and just think what happens if again, that, not to keep circling back to the alarmist, but this person is really not trying to be alarmist. If you read this thread, it's like, it's all grounded in like real data, and it's just projecting based on that data. If the quarantines happen, like imagine gas use then,
Yeah.
And also, I mean, the airlines, for instance, another major consumer of gas, and the cruise ships, big consumer of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those big ships that send cargo from China. Yeah. What about them? I've heard that just the drivers to get goods to the ports are like, there's barely any, by the way. So even before you get to the ships and deal with them, that like people that drive the goods in the pallets, he said they're not doing that right now. So the big like cargo ships are, and that would make sense. I don't know if they're not doing them all together, or if it's due to the fact that there's limited exports. I mean, if the factories are shut down, then what are they exporting?
Yeah.
What was it? CO2 over China, January versus February, I think was the chart that everybody had kind of bringing up. Like, if you want to believe the public data or not, like about China talking about how good of a grasp they have on the spread of this virus, I mean, this kind of speaks for itself right here. January 20th, January 1st through 20th, and then February 10 through 25. And this is like satellite imaging. So what are they exporting? I guess things that can be produced without pollution. Yeah, no pollution.
Oh, yeah.
So interesting times. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to keep talking to people about my idea of buying the SPY puts and targeting like probably like $200 in mid July. It's I'll probably put more money into that than I should, but part of me, I do a monthly, like on the first of every month, I do my public income report where I talk about my income generated from all my different business models. What I don't show publicly is I also do my own personal income report, which I believe I make available on my website right here. If you guys are interested, it's ryanhogue.com/invest. I have a spreadsheet that I call my monthly finance tracker, and it makes it real easy to see your month over month like net worth kind of up or down and see what assets are performing well. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to decide on how much I want to gamble based on how much money I have that I can mess around with. But I'm thinking that I'm going to make a big bet, and then maybe in like July or August, I'll tell you guys how it went. If you don't hear from me, it probably went south. But I don't know. I'm seeing opportunity. I think it's knocking. Spy puts is basically just a way of betting against the market at large. Because the SPY is I think I closed it down. The SPY is kind of an indicator, like it trades along with the market. So market goes up, SPY goes up, market goes down, SPY goes down. So thinking out loud. But yeah, what are you thinking like as far as crypto goes, Tom? Circling back to that real quick. Oops.
Well, I think, Bitcoin's halving supposed to be in early or middle of May, and I think that's really going to crypto. When Bitcoin moves, it moves very fast. It can move within 30 days and hit all-time highs. So I'm just buying. I keep buying and just waiting for that when it hits that peak, and I'll sell again.
Are you doing like dollar cost averaging, like doing like a setup like a daily? Like I think it's on like not Coin Market Cap, Coinbase, where they can like just have it automatically pull some money out and invest for you? Or
yeah, I don't. I kind of look at the market myself, look at the prices. So I have in my head when I think I'm going to buy. When it dips down to a certain point, I'll buy it at a certain level because I'll look at what the recent trend has been, and then I'll come pretty close to whatever that low point is before it shoots back up again.
I'm circling on my calendar date that people get tax returns. Bitcoin up. That will be my prediction.
I mean, yeah, that could be the start of it right there. So who knows?
Yeah,
I know. The last couple of years, I think because of how the tax season was, the market really didn't move that much because of that.
Yeah. So for me, my personal take on Bitcoin is that like I don't think of it in even kind of, it's probably the wrong way to think about it, but I don't even think about it in terms of like its value relative to USD. I think of Bitcoin's value relative to the supply. You know what I mean? And I just think of it in terms of that. So like I've positioned myself, like I have a couple Bitcoin, and I'm one of those guys that's like just holding forever. And it's not because I think it's going to $1 million and then I can become a millionaire. It's not that at all. It's like, if this somehow becomes like the global currency and I have a couple Bitcoin, I'm set for life. My family's set for life. Future generations all set for life. And it's like, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm not going to sell. It could hit 100,000. I'm not selling. I'm just going to, it just is Bitcoin. I have Bitcoin, not thinking about it as USD. And that's my personal take.
Okay. That's interesting.
Just in case. It's like a just in case.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were saying maybe by 2021 or 2022 it could hit, 6 figures. So yeah.
Yeah. People have been saying that though. So it's like, what was his name? The McAfee guy. He was like all Bitcoin. And then he flip-flopped. That dude's crazy though.
Yeah.
Now I think he hates Bitcoin. So I haven't done too much like research into why, but I would imagine it has to do with like him thinking that like the world governing bodies somehow got there, like found a way to manipulate it. That's typically what he's all about, being very anti that. So
yeah.
Banchan says they made money on Ether and CryptoKitties. Hey, get your money however you get it, man. I remember back in like 2014 looking at Dogecoin and being like, you know, this is back, like, I'm still learning about like principles of investing and thinking like Dogecoin's so cheap. What if it goes up like in just a little bit, you'd be rich. And like, you know, lo and behold, of course, if I had just bought, thing is, even back then, like, I don't know if Coinbase was around and there wasn't a lot of easy ways to invest, but
Yeah.
like, actually, this is making it look flat. No, Dogecoin is the green line. Yeah. Okay. So if I had bought Dogecoin back in like 2014, I mean, this exercise I'm doing right now, by the way, it's like the worst thing to ever do. Oh, if only I had bought and held and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I mean, 3 zeros and then let's just say 3 zeros and then 2 would have gone up to like, it's trading at like a penny 5 at one point. So, I mean, that's like, I don't even know, 10 million, $100 million, 10 million. I guess it all depends on how much you put in, but
yeah.
You could have gotten a lot for a little back then. Crazy. Well, is there anything else that we should talk about while we're on this live? While we've been talking, I think things have steadily gotten worse.
Yeah, all I see is red on my screen.
Yeah, this is crazy. Hey, Walmart's up. That was one thing I noticed this morning. I was like, why does Walmart keep going up? Like, do they have manufacturing in the United States? I don't think that's the case, but, or for the most part, I don't think they do. There was some other really good data point that I heard. Yeah, invest in Costco. That's another good. It says, what's the Costco stock?
What is that?
Got to invest in Costco and Charmin, the toilet paper makers.
Oh, COST.
Yeah. Looks like today they saw a little bit of a pullback, but what are we looking at? Let's do 1 month. Actually, 1 month they're down somehow. Interesting. Not by much, but a few percentage points.
Yeah, they're still doing pretty well though.
Yeah. I think there's Costco. Like, I think they're international. Oh, they pay a dividend too. 65 cents. That's good. I guess it's all a function of the share price, but hey, I'll take a dividend all day. 65 cents 4 times a year. Not bad at all. $2.60. So anyways, yeah, I mean, in summary, the theme of this video was making money in an economic downturn or stock downturn. I think I saw on Twitter, that's where I got the hashtag Black Monday. People are saying. And, you know, my thoughts were really, I just wanted to introduce people to these extremely volatile assets, such as the TVIX and shorting, you know, essentially buying options to short the market at large by using SPY puts. Maybe terrible advice that will result in people wasting a lot of money. Hopefully not, because I'll probably put my money where my mouth is and gamble. But anything else you want to, any parting thoughts you want to share?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, we just gotta, anyone who's gonna invest, who wants to invest, gotta be patient because it's could be a long ride.
That's always good advice. And I would say, like, if there's days like today where the Dow is down 2,000 points, probably a good day if you want to, like, it's not a good day to like short things, probably. Would you agree? Like on a massive downswing day, it's probably like good to maybe relax and wait for an upswing if you want to short anything, as opposed to like, maybe this would be a good day to enter if you are thinking that things will reverse course in the near future, you know, because it'll react. The market will react to any positive news, you know, sometimes, even if it's not going to be the what actually solves the problem. So yeah, all right, well, Tom, let's plug the YouTube channel one more time. I put a link as the top link in the description, so you guys want to support Passive Income Tom by subscribing or checking out his channel at least, and then if you like it, subscribe.
If you check out the video I released yesterday, is actually pretty good. It talks about my thoughts about the everything from 2008 and other crashes. So I think really applies to this one we're going through right now, and it actually spiked a lot. Just when I happened by coincidence, just really did well. Just the timing of it just did really well. So
yeah, guys, check that out. It's called Market Crash 2020, 2008 Financial Crisis, and yeah, there's a lot to learn from it. And that'll hopefully benefit you and your investing adventures. All right, Tom, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be
all right,
here.
thanks, Ryan.
But I wish you the best, man. Hopefully, my Pinterest will be able to match your Pinterest, and your YouTube will be able to match my YouTube, and somehow we both just experience that success together.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Take care. Thank you, everybody, for watching the stream. I'll see you guys later.
All right, take care.
All right.